Alrighty then, what is up everybody? It's me, J-Rod the filmmaker, former filmmaker, frequent fighting gamer from Philadelphia, and guess what? Ed Boon is tweeting again so we can make another video. At first, I was like, Ed Boon tweets all the time. That doesn't always mean that there's enough content to make a video, but no, Ed Boon did an entire thread this time, and it is full of stuff to make videos about. I think that there are 2 or 3 really important points in this thread, but you guys can be the judge of what do you think is important, because to you there might even be more than 2 or 3 important points, but for me there are a few that we really need to look at and we really need to talk about and speculate about. So we're gonna get into it. It's pretty late when I'm recording this video, but I'm gonna upload it bright and early on Wednesday morning. So yeah, we're gonna get into it. And Wednesday is also the same day that the season finale of X-Men 97 comes out, so I'll be checking that out and I'll be reviewing that for Friday's video. So if you want to see my review and reaction of X-Men 97, then go ahead and subscribe and be here at noon Eastern time on Friday when First and Final comes out and I give you guys my review and reaction. But without further ado, we're going to switch over to the reaction where I already got his Twitter up, and we're going to react to these tweets because they are steaming hot. All right, here we go. Here is the thread in question. As per usual, we are reacting to the man, the myth, the legend, Ed Boon, who, if you don't know, it says it up here in the corner. Ed Boon is the co-creator of Mortal Kombat and Injustice and the chief creative officer of NetherRealm Studios. All right. So this is the guy. This is the guy that makes the game we love. This is the dude. And when he starts tweeting, all right, we get early looks at stuff, we get speculation, we get teasers of things that we didn't even know was coming, we get leaks. So without further ado, I think let's get into it. Starting off with, he started off this multi-tweet post thread that he's calling it. Got some stuff, some questions, and some fun in this multi-tweet post. Starting with this closer look at cameo fighter FERRA in Mortal Kombat 1. She plays unlike any cameo fighter in the game, and we can't wait for you to check her out. This, for me, I'm already excited. This is definitely the first big thing in this thread, is another look at FERRA. I cannot wait for FERRA. I think she is going to be one of my favorite cameos on the DLC. I'm hoping she has a grapple of some sort, and the way that Ed says that she plays unlike any other cameo fighter, I can't wait to see what that means. Also showed us that other first look with FERRA on Scorpion's back. I think that she's going to be kind of like a puppet, not a puppet character, but like a puppeteer character, if that makes sense. And your character will become the puppet. So I think that FERRA is going to hop on your back and she's going to give your character a new moves list of moves, including stuff, classic FERRA or Ferrator moves like Pain and Gain, like his throw, his grabs, and like maybe that one projectile where he just takes FERRA and tosses her. So that's what I think the moves list is going to look like, but we still have to wait and see. We've gotten a lot of like early looks at FERRA, so I am very excited for when we get her full look, which will probably be with Homelander's gameplay reveal trailer. And I'm speculating that that will come at Combo Breaker, but very excited to get another look at FERRA, who I think will be my favorite cameo in the entire game. The next up, he talks costumes. With 30 plus years of Mortal Kombat games and movies, there have been many versions of the fighters depending on when you first discovered MK. Everyone has their memories of their favorite MK costume. In recent years, we've tried to celebrate these costumes by putting by putting them in our games. In MK11, we added the movie skins from 1995 MK movie. Yeah, yes, they did. A little walk down memory lane. I still, to this day, don't have these costumes because I didn't really want to pay for them when I don't play any of these 3 characters. I play Raiden a little bit in MK11, but personally, I like his MK1 counterpart more. And then this part, I know this is pointless because people gonna speculate, but disclaimer, none of these questions polls should be taken as any kind of hint, promise, or confirmation of features coming to Mortal Kombat 1. These are mostly for fun, and it's always great to hear from players and MK fans. Now, I'm going to ignore this one. We're going to take everything that Ed Boon says here as confirmation, as hints, as promises, and we're going to assume that everything he talks about is coming to the game. Like we already know, Mortal Kombat 95 Scorpion skin is coming to the game. And, you know, I think it's interesting that he's doing this fatality on Johnny Cage. We don't get to see Johnny Cage from the neck down here. But what if Johnny Cage also has a different skin on? What if he also has a 95 movie skin on and they're using this as a clever way to conceal it? Who knows? That's just speculation. And then there's a bunch of questions. I mostly answered them already, but I kind of clicked the wrong things. Like here, I thought I was voting for MK Annihilation, and apparently I hit Scorpion's Revenge. But what other Mortal Kombat movie skins would you want to see in MK1? You got Annihilation, Scorpion's Revenge, the 2021 movie, and the upcoming MK2 movie. Honestly, this probably should have been the answer, because then you get a free and early advanced look at the movie. When did you first start playing Mortal Kombat? Now, technically, my answer is MK versus DC, which would be in 3D era. But according to Ed, he said the 3D games go from Deadly Alliance to Armageddon, and that the back to 2D starts at MK9. So the man who created Mortal Kombat, literally skips over MKDC. So we just got to act like it never happened. So yeah, we're going to skip this question, and we're going to all act like MK versus DC never happened. Which of these returning guest fighter combat packs do you want to see the most? Now, this one is interesting too, because he says MK9, Freddy, Kratos, and Texas Chainsaw. Leatherface was an MKX. He would be down here. So I don't know why he decided to put him up here with MK9, but I think all of this is some sort of tease. Then we got MKX, Alien, Predator, and Jason. They were all in that game, so that's not a tease. And then MK11, Terminator, Rambo, and RoboCop. They were all in that game too, but also there was Spawn. No mention of Spawn and no mention of the Joker, which is interesting. I would vote for MK11 if Spawn was mentioned, but he didn't. I went with MK9 because Kratos is probably the one character on this list that I have never been able to play. So definitely looking forward to them bringing him back if possible. Okay, next up. This is another big one. For previous MK games, or NetherRealm games, MKX and Injustice, we've made custom skins and shaders to support the prize pool of tournaments, esports, and community events. MKX had Crimson Ermac and Blue Steel Sub-Zero. If we were to have a Mortal Kombat 1 Pro Competition Season 2, would you like to see us release costumes and shaders to support the prize pools for it? This is such an obvious answer. I'm happy to see the ratio on this thing. 91% of people know what's up. Of course, we would love to see some sort of skins, shaders, or anything that support the competitive players, because I mean, there's the casual community and there's the competitive community, and the casual community for MK is huge. It's the reason why it's one of the most sold video games of all time last year, and we would love it if there was a way for the casual community to help support the competitive community, and this is exactly that way. Those skins, I mean, come on, who hasn't bought some sort of skin in this game? I haven't paid any money for it, but I'm almost out of my free dragon crystals. I probably got one more skin I can buy with those free dragon crystals before I gotta actually spend some money and get more dragon crystals. If I knew I was spending my money on something that would benefit the pro scene and the pro players that work really hard and grind this game and create like amazing content, I would do so, and I would do so without any sort of guilt. So if they do drop these, you know, I don't know what they're gonna call it, but these skins / shaders that support the pro comp, I'm gonna definitely be grabbing those for sure. I mean, I do a bunch of watch party live streams where we watch the professionals play, and that's just an example of content on this channel that I wouldn't have if it wasn't for them. So any way that I can give back, I would appreciate it, and I'm sure that the pros would appreciate it as well. So this one is huge, it's very important, and if you guys could, I would recommend you go vote on this question specifically. You can vote on the entire poll, but I think this one is important. But next up, a little less important, but this one, I think this is a teaser. I know you said don't take anything as a teaser, but this is a teaser in my opinion. What was your favorite part of Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath? Was it the new stories, the new fighters, Babalities, or gameplay balances? Now, if you've played MK11 Aftermath, like myself, you'll know that there were no Babalities in MK11 Aftermath. That brought friendships to the game in MK11 Aftermath. And, you know, if anyone should know this, Ed Boon should know this. I don't think that he misspoke. I don't think that he got this wrong. And I don't think that this is an accident. I think that this is a teaser of what's to come in the next expansion of Mortal Kombat 1. I think he's saying whatever is the MK11 Aftermath version of Mortal Kombat 1 will probably be bringing Babalities to the game in the same way that Aftermath brought friendships into MK11. This has to be a teaser. Ed Boon knows exactly what came with every single update. If he can go back and tell us stories about, you know, how MK1 was made and how Ermac came to be and the 3D era and the arcade era, he knows exactly what type of finishers they added to the game in MK11 Aftermath, which was about 4 or 5 years ago. It was not that long ago. So yeah, I don't think that this was a mistake, a mishap. I think this is a very intentional misdirection from Ed Boon. And I voted for Babalities because I'm pointing out the teaser here. I'm saying, everybody look at this. This was not an accident. This is definitely on purpose. All right, next up we have, speaking of cameo fighters, we have our first look at what appears to be a fatality for FERRA. We don't get much. We just get the first shot of it, and it looks really cool. This flip. I mean, FERRA, she just looks really sick. I mean, this has to be the cameo fighter I'm most excited for. I mean, after Tremor, it goes straight to FERRA. All the other ones have been really sick, but this is the character that I cannot wait to play. I wasn't a huge Ferrator player, though, in MKX, but if I had the knowledge now, when I was playing MKX, I probably would be, because I love big body grapplers, and I love, like, weird utility characters, and Ferrator is exactly that. They're a big body grappler, but they also have weird utility by being a duo. So yeah, I would definitely be a Ferrator player these days. So now I'm gonna try out FERRA as my main cameo. I think Geras FERRA will probably be a cool team up. I'll try Kenshi FERRA, and yeah, and we shall see. But let's get into the next one. We're almost done with the thread. Which MK movie fighter would you most want to see join the cameo roster in MK1? Art Lean or Cole Young? I'm gonna keep it a bean. I don't remember who Art Lean is. I went with Cole Young. Yes, Cole Young was kind of hated. I mean, even the movie was kind of hated when it came out. I never hated it. I still think it's a really fun movie, and I should probably actually rewatch it soon, before or after the MK2 movie trailer comes out. But I think it's a good time for Cole Young to make a, like, ironic resurgence. Like, I think that people are going to... I don't think people hate Cole Young as much anymore. While everyone doesn't love him, I think they're more indifferent on him. And also, as a cameo character, it doesn't matter who the character is. It just matters how they play. You know, there weren't a bunch of Janet Cage fans out there, considering that's also a new character. And that's just like a character we already had, but reinvented. But Janet is really fun to play and works really good with certain characters. And because of that, Janet is an integral part of the meta. So if Cole Young drops and he's a really fun character, he's a really good character, he will be an important character, an important part of MK1's meta. So, yeah, that's what I voted for, and I'm excited to see what they do with it. Cole Young is, you know, I don't think his role in the movie was the best, but I do think that he had an interesting backstory and interesting powers. So I want to see how they would adapt that to a cameo character. All right, next up, we only got 2 more left. What was your favorite previous Mortal Kombat single-player game modes? This one, I don't even think this one is close, if I'm being completely honest. It's Conquest mode. Free is Conquest mode. Because the rest of them, you got Challenge Tower and Towers of Time. Those are the same thing. Those are towers, bro. Those are towers with modifiers. It's not that fun. I mean, it's fun for sure. But after a while, you've done every single variation of the towers. And you're like, cool, I'm done with that. That's why I really do appreciate Invasions mode, because at least it's like Towers of Time, but they refresh and they renew. And you get different opponents with different modifiers and different things every season. So It's gonna take a while before it gets stale, is what I'll say. But out of these 4, it's Deception Mode Konquest, hands down. And since we're speculating here, since we're doing exactly what Ed told us not to do and taking these all as teasers, do you guys think that we're going to get a Deception Mode in Mortal Kombat 1? I would love that. And I think it could... I mean, I'm sure some people would say delete Invasions Mode, right? And make that into a Conquest Mode instead. But no, I think that they could do both and that the two could be completely separate from each other. What I just want to see is it possible on the development side to make a mode that big and expansive and add it to the game after the game is already out? If it's possible, I want them to do it. But, you know, I don't want them to have to compromise the game or performance in any way to add that to it. So we shall see. But if we get it, I cannot wait. I will play a lot of that Deception, or it will be MK1 Conquest mode, but I will play a lot of that Conquest mode either way. And then the final question, which is another good one, is in the past we've created alternate announcer voices in MK games. Who would you most like to have added as an MK1 announcer voice? 1, Dan Forden. If you guys don't know Dan Forden, that's the Toasty guy.
My name's Dan Forden, and I do sounds and music. And Toasty.
But, yeah, Dan Forden is the Toasty guy. He's the guy that pops up and says, Toasty! He used to be the sound designer, I believe, for the classic Mortal Kombat arcade games. So he added music, he added sounds, he added Toasty himself, and other sound effects like that. So that would be really cool. He's like a really important part of Mortal Kombat. But, however... the next option, the one I chose, is Ed Boon, Scorpion. I would just love to hear Ed Boon's voice in the game. I don't get why they've never done it. Outside of when he does the voice of Scorpion, he does the Get Over Here. But I want to hear Ed Boon, like, make Ed Boon do a bunch of different stuff, you know? There should be an Ed Boon Scorpion skin where Scorpion kind of looks like Ed Boon. And maybe it's like an unmasked Scorpion, and it just has Ed Boon's face, and then all the lines that come out are gonna sound like Ed Boon. That would be sick. And then Steve Ritchie as MK2 Shao. Now I don't off the top remember, but I think it's just that classic Shao voice. So here, let's listen to it.
Fatality. Finish him.
It is like a classic arcade era Shao Kahn voice. So I think out of these ones, any of these 3 would be really good to have. Hopefully one of these is a teaser for what's to come. I really don't care which one, but I would take any of them. It would be really amazing if all 3 of these were coming into the game. And you know, this is just our little teaser, our first hint of what's to come, what's next in Mortal Kombat. So yeah, that is going to be it for the thread. That's the final tweet of Ed Boon's thread. So he's done tweeting for now. I said we were going to check back in with Ed every Friday, but then he just comes out of nowhere on Tuesday night and just goes ham. So yeah, we did get our first look at FERRA in-game and our first look at FERRA's Fatality. Well, I guess this is our second look of FERRA in-game because we had a look in Homelander's first look trailer. But, you know, the more the merrier. The more FERRA I can look at, the better. Okay, so I'm not going to complain. But yeah, I think the most important parts of this thread is we got our first or second look at FERRA, but he also teased Babalities, new modes, and new features, skins, announcer voices, and a whole bunch of stuff that could potentially be coming to the game. But we got to take it with a grain of salt for now because it's all just speculation on Twitter. I'm confident that something from this thread is going to make it into the game. We know FERRA is coming, confirmed. I think we're gonna get Cole Young. I think we're gonna get. I'm really going for it. But I think we're gonna get Cole Young, a Deception mode, and Babalities in whatever the next update is. Now the returning guest characters, I'm on the fence about that. I don't think we're gonna get returning guest characters, but who knows? All right, so we shall see. But guys, tell me, what of these things that Ed Boon was talking about would you like to see come to the game? And in what order would you like to see them? What's the most pressing thing you want to see come to the game? And what's something you want to see come later? For me, I think the most important thing in this list still is the skins that support the pro competition. I have said that I think that this season of pro competition is not season 1, but we can think of it more like season 0 or season 0.5. I think this is a precursor to the real Mortal Kombat Pro competition, considering, you know, like, it's not including Evo. The entire Pro Comp is going to wrap up right before Evo starts. That it's a pretty small prize pool. They did add more money to it, but I think that, you know, it still leaves a lot to the imagination. So my prediction is that this is just a big, you know, lead up to the first full season of Pro Comp that has the entire Combat Pack 1 in it, that has more money, that has crowdfunded skins to add even more money. It includes Evo, it includes more tournaments, more regions maybe. So yeah, I'm hoping that we're going to get a bigger and better pro competition season next season, and that one of the ways we're going to do that is with the crowdfunded skins. But that's going to be it for this one, you guys. So tell me how you felt about Ed Boon's tweets. Tell me if you feel me, and I will see you guys next time in another new one. Peace out. Or whenever else Ed Boon starts tweeting again and we have something else. Oh, yeah, actually, before we get out of here, boom, do me a favor and hit me with the 3-hit combo. And you just smash the like button like Ryu, spear the subscribe button like Scorpion, and kick the notification bell like FERRA if you cannot wait for new stuff to come to MK1. But that is going to be it for this one, you guys. So I'll see you next time in another new one. Peace out. This is Usher going for another black look with a bit of contrast with the red. I think it's on theme because I think he looks like a
Little Ray Riding Hood.
I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna say like a old timey medieval gardener or groundskeeper.